Oh, it's 2 o'clock now. So I'd like to go ahead and get started timely because I know there's just an awful lot going on today. And I want to make sure that I cover the resources that I have selected. I did add a button down at the bottom. I've never quite done this before, but it should say QM Resources Handout. I can also add the link in our chat, but now I don't see the chat. I know it's here. Nope, I don't see it anymore. It's okay. I can share it with you separately if I need to. Okay, so one of the things that I wanted to do was just kind of start the way I approached how I prepared this session was I kind of thought about what would a new member who's a faculty member or possibly a designer need if they join, or possibly they hear their institution has joined QM and they don't really know what that means and they kind of want to know what they need to do to get started. So that's kind of how I prepared. I see a lot of people that have a great deal of experience with QM on this call, so it may not be as beneficial to you, but I hope that you feel comfortable if I share something and you want to elaborate on that. Please feel free to do so. We're here to help everybody, so I don't mind collaborating. So I kind of put together some stuff. So let me go ahead and share my screen. I'm going to just share my whole screen and go up here. Let's see. So one of the things that I kept thinking about is what different people would need. Here is the resource that I've created. If you click on that link, it should bring this up. It has, one of the tough things about QM is trying to remember where everything is located because it's just a plethora of information and sometimes it's hard to navigate. So a lot of these links are repetitive, but I just wanted to give you the link to know what part you would know what part I was going to. One of the pages that I've started with is their main website, which is qmprogram.org. And in this website has several resources that I thought would be beneficial. I started out with if a faculty member wanted to grow, they're just wanting to explore and get to know QM, you can go to the main website, and under professional development, there is a list of workshops. This has everything that QM offers in training, and they offer way more than what our local resources do. And if you don't know this, we do have trained facilitators in Oklahoma that offer some workshops, but QM offers way more than that. We only offer 3 with our facilitators. When you click on higher ed, you get a whole listing of workshops that are available. You can go over to the expand sign and find out more information about those workshops, including a schedule and even more information. So let me just click on learn more is what I would do here. And it will go into great detail about what you need for that workshop. So if any faculty members are looking to grow or looking for additional workshops, this is one of the best places to go. You even get the checklist and schedule so that you can prepare. If you are taking one of the workshops that we offer, you can still go to the higher ed tab. And let's say you are enrolled in the improving your online course. Even no matter who is facilitating this workshop, it should be the same. So you can click on learn more and you have all the details that you'll need to know how that workshop will be facilitated and how to prepare and what time frame you need to allow for preparing for that workshop. If you are in my QM, so I wanted to, let me kind of back up just a skosh here. You can go to the membership and your MyQM login. Every single member of QM all the affiliate, if your institution is a member of QM, every single person, faculty or designers, even staff would have the ability to create a MyQM account. If you have not done that, it will prompt you. If you don't have an account or need to create an account, it will give you that option. I've logged in, so it is still showing me here. Let me just log out real quick. Yes, things aren't going real quick. I might pace myself on that. I'm just going to go ahead and stay logged in. Just trust me that there is an option to add, create your account when you hit that button. Another way to get to the workshops is through your MyQM account. And there are QM training listings here. So you can find out what training is available. It just doesn't quite go into the details as the other workshop did. Okay, let's see. And then the other option that is available is if you go to workshop register, you should see dedicated training. If you click on dedicated training, it does show the workshops that are available just for Oklahoma. Now, you will need to check with your QM coordinator to know whether these trainings are available for your institution. Some of these may be private sessions that different institutions have arranged for their campus. So be sure and check that. But that's how you can find out more information about the different courses that are available in Oklahoma. Another resource that I thought would be available, that is available to all faculty, and we've recently had someone from our faculty or our institution go through this, and they've really enjoyed the whole course. But this is the ability to earn a teaching online certificate. So if you want to know more about that, you can go to their main website, and I got off of that when I went to it. So, and there is a teaching online certificate link. The workshop or the certificate consists of 7 courses. It is a pretty good say. I mean, it is something that does have to be approved because it costs over $1,000, but for 7 courses and then you get your certificate, it might be something that your institution can do, possibly even something fun, like suggest that your institution have like possibly a drawing or a way that your faculty could apply, and maybe your institution could send 2 or 3 people through that the whole session in a year or something like that. So it doesn't have to necessarily be everybody going at once, which of course most institutions that I know could not afford that. But it is nice to be able to have something to achieve personally. There are a lot of individual faculty members who enjoy earning different certifications, and this is a really nice certification. It's all online, and you can spread it out throughout the course of a year or so. My next resource that I would really like to share, I think these are often underutilized because we don't realize that they're there, but you can get to them through the main website. If you go to professional development and scroll down to free webinars, yes, free webinars, this will take you to a page that will include the success stories that QM has offered. They try to offer them about once a month. I don't know that they do. Yeah, I think they have pretty much kept to that schedule. Some of the success stories will apply and some of them may not. But this is where you can find a list of success stories. You can also find that list if you go to your MyQM account and you are looking under reference library. It will take you to QM success stories. And this has the direct link for anything that you may want to see. You can scroll down. This is the whole archive, and you can click on any of these success stories. Even this works great for designers. It also can be a fantastic resource. This is one of those things that I think really can help QM coordinators and program chairs that want to kind of kick something off, because many of the QM success stories are from other QM coordinators. Some of them are from faculty kind of sharing how they applied QM. But this is a fantastic resource, and you can get to it two different ways. You can get to it through your MyQM by just going to your reference library, or you could go to the professional development site from the main link and get to those different resources. And that's why I also added both links right here. Another link that faculty may or may not know about, if you've taken anything with QM, and let's say you want to kind of review some of your workshops, there's a big star up here that says My Activity. If you click on that, you can see all of your activity that you have done with QM. You can click on your certificates, your activity report, whether or not you've done any course reviews, etc. But that's a big star up there that's really nice. You can also click on the drop or the expand the menu to the side and get pretty much the same thing. But that is a nice resource for faculty to know that they have, so that they've got one central place to go and get any of their certificates and review what they've done. Some faculty could come up, they took a course a couple of years ago, can't remember what it was. This is a fantastic resource for them to go to. So that's kind of for personal growth. Those are some great resources just to find out a little bit more about QM, what it does, how you can individually grow with that site or with the program, and discover more about what QM does. Another area that I focused on was application of QM. So if you're faculty and you've taken a few courses and you think your course meets standards, but you just want to kind of try to start applying it a little bit more. Now, we do have a workshop that is Improve Your Online Course, which is fantastic if you've already taught online. But let's say you've taken that course and you still want to go a little bit further. On the MyQM site, there is a place up here at the top that is the course review management system. And you think, well, I'm not quite ready for a course review. But if you click on that site, you will see the option to do a self-review. Faculty can do as many self-reviews as they wish. This is a fantastic place for them to set up a review and record some of the things that they find in their course. They can even make notes. Let me see if I've got an open self-review. No, I don't. So, but you can make notes and do a variety of, make a variety of comments that would help you going forward. If you want to, you can also, let's see if I've got a closed one. Nope, I'm not going there. Okay. So if you do your My Self Reviews, you can, the other thing that you can do is, this is my cheat sheet. Everyone pay attention. So if you don't have access to the QM rubric, you don't have a workbook, I've started a self-review with the QM rubric so that I can go into it anytime and get to the standards. So I have a digital copy of the QM rubric anywhere I am when I go into the MyQM site. So I've created my very own access. And this is what I've done. Now, so this is what a review, a real review or official review would use, but you can see this is blank. You can use it any way you want. You can mark if your standard is met, not met. You can put down what evidence you have found in your course to support that. And you can make notes of things that you want to change. The really cool thing about this is that when you get done, you can email that. Let's say you want to email it to a dean, or maybe you want to email it to a peer to take a look at. Either way is fine, but this is a fantastic resource. Another resource your institution can do is use the MyCR. This is for custom reviews. I do know several of our institutions have used this to get started. I know a couple of institutions that just did a custom review and only included the essential standards. And that was the way to introduce their faculty to QM and that review process, which is wonderful. You could set up a custom review. Maybe you have a challenge out to your faculty as kind of a fun thing for the year that everybody in the institution, you want to kind of do a challenge to see how many can meet General Standard 1. Well, you can set up a custom review that only had General Standard 1 in it, and everybody could go through that. So be creative. Think of different ways that you could use this, but that's how you could do a custom review. Another element that is there, so let's say you have several of your faculty, maybe in one program, have had their courses officially reviewed, which is wonderful, and you've met standards. Well, you can also do a program review to where your entire program could add an announcement that says that this program is Quality Matters certified. So as you're growing, keep this in mind. This is a fantastic way to promote the quality of your courses to students, because you can use that QM. There's QM seals and QM wording that you can use if your program is certified. So tons of resources over here to think about. But that is those three things, the self-review, the custom review, and the program review, I think are things that not everybody remembers. Of course, you can do an official course review, and we'll talk about that. One of the best places that I think to get information on that, if you are a QM coordinator, you should have access to a coordinator resource site, and that has a great deal of information about a QM review. But if you're a regular faculty member or a designer, you can go to their main website and click on QM or course design reviews. And this will give you a lot of information on what is needed for an official review and how that works. That you can see that you can do a subscriber manage, or you can do where QM will manage it. There are advantages to both. I know how to do a subscriber managed review and have done several in the past. I had a faculty member that wanted to do one this semester, and we just haven't set up a whole lot of systems for how we're going to pay it out now. And so I thought, I just want this to go through. And so I just wanted to go ahead and let QM manage it, because at least that way we can get it done and get it on the books. And as we go forward, we can incorporate whatever we want to do. So these tools are always available. Both tools are available based on what you need. So QM reviews, those things are wonderful. So let's say you want to go into a deeper dive. Now, when I think a deeper dive, sometimes I think of, okay, I understand how QM works and what it can do. Keep in mind, I'm trying to just do resources, but you can also become a certified peer reviewer. And if you're interested in growing with QM, I highly recommend that, because you learn so much every single time you sit on a review team. I do have some comments in the chat. I'm sorry, I haven't been good about checking the chat. So oh, okay, thank you. I'm glad that, yes, QM success stories are great. So thank you. If anything comes up in chat, would somebody please yell at me to say, hey, Dana, you got a question. But if you want to, if you are working with faculty that are skeptical, this also works, because this is where I kind of ventured off into some of the QM research opportunities. People forget that it is still research-based. They do basically a meta-analysis of the research that's out there. One thing that I thought was really interesting that I wanted to bring up is the Chloe project. If you click on that, that's the changing landscape of online education. They're in their 8th version of the Chloe project. This is a very detailed report. It's not for light reading, but it is very informative. So if you like that, if you want to go deeper, that's fine. If anybody's working on their dissertation in this field, you can see that there are QM focused resources up here. You can get into, find a lot of white papers. You can find links to a lot of different articles, which is a wonderful boost to anybody that's researching in the field of online education, especially when it deals with quality. You can click on this link for the library if you wanted to select a particular standard. Let's say interaction is big and we want to kind of look, oh, this is hard to read. But these are the different articles that support that standard. So it's great for those who are doing research. It's also great if you have faculty members that are skeptical, because this isn't just somebody in a room saying, hey, my opinion is we need to do this. It's all got support. So, and that's wonderful. Let me go back. And then the other thing I wanted to point out is presentation recordings. If these are some presentations that QM has offered throughout the year, and you can go in and get and have access to some of these recordings, which is fantastic if you're wanting to dive in a little bit more. But I also wanted to share that if you just hop over one more tab to QA resources, there's a resource center, there's a place to connect, and there is a showcase of best practices. I love this. I think it needs to grow, and I think we need to QM needs to have a contest to have people submit how they meet these different resources. But these are little mini videos showing how somebody meets the standard of each of the resources, which I think is wonderful. Another great resource, if you go over to events, you can get to conference presentations. Now, the conference presentations don't always have a lot of meat to them because they were done at a conference. So sometimes you might get an overview. Sometimes you might be able to get the attachments that they shared, etc. You'll be able to know what conference they presented at. But you can also go down to where it says session recordings, and you get some keynote speakers and some other information that I think would be very helpful as a resource. Again, now these resources I do think would work great for faculty, designers, and coordinators, depending on what you're wanting to find. So really, those are kind of the things that I've highlighted for this presentation. Again, there's a whole lot more that you can do. I just kind of, we just have about 6 minutes, and I'm sorry I talked so fast because I wanted to make sure I got through everything. Let me just kind of go back up and just ask does anyone have any questions? Has there been any type of resource you've wanted to find that I could help with? Did I bore you guys? Here, let me go ahead and stop my share here. Well, really and truly, I don't mind helping with questions. If you have questions now, or you're more than welcome to message me. and I'll be more than happy to help answer any QM questions. But that's kind of the highlights of what I found. So I will go ahead. Let me pause for a moment and see if there's any other questions. Did everybody?
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, please go
I
ahead.
didn't have a question necessarily, but just a comment, which is that the team I'm on at OU has used the QM standards to develop a course template for our faculty to use. And we found it super helpful, and we can reference the different standards to show why we're doing everything so that faculty can see it while they're working in their courses. So yeah, it's some very helpful stuff.
Thank you for mentioning that. I think institutional templates are awesome. With Canvas too, if you can easily share that in the Commons area. I know that D2L recently had a presentation with QM that was doing basically the same thing. But I think that's a fantastic point. And if you are in that design area, if you're in the LMS administration area too, there are some things you can do with your help links and stuff like that to meet several of the QM standards, especially General Standard 7, because General Standard 7 is really about support links. So those are really easy to incorporate into any template, or if you've got if you're part of the LMS administration and you're you're in charge, or you're able to make changes to some of the help tabs and stuff like that. So thank you so much for sharing that. Okay, well, I will let everybody go, and thanks for attending, and reach out if you think of a question later. Bye-bye.